What up? This is Rama Screen covering movies, TV, and entertainment, and here's my review of Netflix's new documentary series, Killer Sally. Hey, before you watch my review, please subscribe to my channel, press that like button, ring that bell, so you can get notified whenever I post new videos. Let's rock this! Okay, even though I grew up in the 90s, spent my teenage years in that era, on to my high school as well, but to be honest, this particular crime case escaped me. I did not know about it till I watched this docu. Maybe because it wasn't as highly publicized as O.J. Simpson, but whatever the reason may be, Killer Sally docuseries arrival is very timely. Not just in terms of #MeToo, but also in terms of exploring the nuances and the complexities of self-defense versus premeditated murder. And trust me when I say that this is one docu that's not easy to pin down. So many arguments for and against Sally that are valid, it becomes a point of contention for many years after. Killer Sally also gives a window into the world of bodybuilding that's both enlightening and tragic, because it's a hobby in which the sacrifices or the toll that it takes on you far exceeds the rewards that you might reap. Directed by Nanette Burstein, Killer Sally is the story of bodybuilding's most notorious crime. On Valentine's Day 1995, national bodybuilding champion Ray McNeil was choking his bodybuilder wife, Sally, when she grabbed a gun and fatally shot him twice. With a documented history of domestic abuse, Sally claimed it was self-defense, a split-second decision to save her life. The prosecution argued it was premeditated murder, the revenge of a jealous and aggressive wife. They called her a thug, a bully, a monster. The media referred to her as the brawny bride and the pumped-up princess. Sally says she spent her life doing whatever it took to survive, caught in a cycle of violence that began in childhood and ended with Ray's death. So there are 3 episodes total. The first one runs the longest. The other 2 are only shorter by just a few minutes. The first one gives you an overview of Ray and Sally's relationship and informs you of the details surrounding the bodybuilding competition in the late 80s and early 90s. I'm guessing things have changed since then. Not sure if it's for the better, but clearly, even back then, the issues of gender roles and gender pay gap also permeated in this particular world that puts a lot of pressure on its contestants. So Sally McNeil herself talks to the camera and shares her side of the story, how she met Ray, how they fell in love, how they raised their children, all the way to how Ray constantly beats her up and demands that her income go into supporting Ray's obsession rather than hers. Sally's grown children also give their testimony, and for the longest time watching them, I was on their side. I mean, how could you not be? It's simple. Ray abuses Sally. But come episode 2, when the murder happens, that's when it starts to get complicated and goes into the gray areas. Because Ray's friends also share their side of the story and more details come to surface about Sally. Boy, that episode 3 is mind-blowing because it shows you what we've already known all along, in that oftentimes criminal cases come down to who can tell the better story to convince the jury. A lot of what's going on in that courtroom was also a case study of what not to do on the part of the defense. Director Nanette Burstein does a wonderful job of making sure that this docu does not appear biased, and it challenges your preconceived notions about female victims of domestic violence, especially when you have somebody like Sally, who from the outside appearance looks more than capable herself of causing some serious physical damage. Overall, this is a very interesting, very stimulating, very provocative docu in which the winner is not all that clear-cut, and those questions will continue to occupy your mind long after Sally gets her happy ending.